Football has gone through an absolutely insane amount of changes throughout the years. At one point, shorts were down to your ankles. The next, they were higher than your hips. I mean, this is how we used to celebrate. Now, most of the changes have come in the way and style that we play, and that's what we've got for you today, the death of the greatest skill in all of football. Let's go. When understanding the greatest skill, it's not a simple thing. It's not something that you can just pull out of nowhere. The greatest skill come from the greatest depths of the game and the greatest thoughts in the game. And that, my friends, is a complete picture, the complete player. Something that we've lost, the inability to innovate on a grand scale. We're gonna start with the goalkeepers. Back in the day, of course you could bounce the ball like we said, you could do all sorts of things, you could run with the ball. The game has changed. Now, along with the game, we've also lost the flair of the goalie. I can name off a list of Rene Higuita, a guy who everybody knows for the scorpion kick, but you probably also didn't know the guy would take the ball and dribble out of the back like he had no issues whatsoever. That stopped. Jorge Campos, a guy with an ability to, okay, I know, obviously, he did this rainbow in the MLS, but let's just be real here. There's a goalie that can do a rainbow and set up a goal. When are you seeing this? He can just take his shirt off, go on the field, and set up a goal. We don't have that anymore, all right? So it's not to say that all goalies have lost this ability. You can see guys like Neuer, obviously getting themselves out of situations by doing curls, Cruyffs, and all sorts of things. We're not gonna lose it entirely, but as a whole, there's clearly not as many as there were. Gotta have a risk if you want that big reward. In the defender position, there is nothing more clear than the guys in the past with the ability for total football, guys like Franz Beckenbauer being able to go and build and start the entire attack from the center back position. Absolutely changed the game. It's not how we have things now. Defenders now are robotic in the sense that they have a role. It's not to say that football then was better and the football now is worse, or just because it's faster and stronger that makes it better. No, the most important things, the greatest skill is the ability to be innovative and creative in any position, and that's exactly what Franz Beckenbauer had, and a lot of the defenders had, because the game was different. You, my friends, want to be able to do this. Center backs back then were average looking dudes. They weren't all that tall.
Can I get the ball, sir?
Jesus Christ. It didn't mean that they weren't strong. It didn't mean that they weren't fast. It didn't mean that they weren't tough, right? They just wore this style. Because nowadays, I mean, I've played against Jaap Stam. These guys in normal days are absolutely huge. Okay, all right, okay. I mean, I went into a tackle with Jaap Stam. It wasn't pretty, okay? So as far as we can tell, if you want to be a better defender, you've got to also not just look to be able to be good with your technique. You also have to be able to be creative in the attack. Now, if you can't get forward, if you don't have this in your game, you won't get the most out of yourself. And now, my friends, we move up the field to what has possibly been one of the greatest losses of all time. The number 10 position used to be the brain. You guys saw that air ball? That was an air ball. That was an air ball. yeah. The number 10 position in football has changed dramatically. All of the midfielders, not just the center, the wings have changed dramatically. And if you want to get something out of the guys that were in this golden period, that was an air ball. If you don't want to air ball, if you want to get something out of this golden period, look at the beauty of the way these players had to train in order to play in the positions that they were in. Maradona, Cruyff, Pele, all of these guys, Platini, okay? Socrates. All of these guys, absolutely incredible when it came to learning and understanding what the game actually demanded. These guys are a huge loss because they were the brain for the team, and being the brain for the team meant that you had to control and understand the tempo, the play, the tactics, the way the other team is going to play against you. It all depended on you. The way the attack started usually started with you. You as a player can go out to your team, to your place, and understand that I can be this type of player that can still go, run, move, do all this stuff. Messi is a number 10, but he's not really a number 10. He's not the brain for the team. That has shifted. The point that we're trying to get across is for you to make yourself a dynamic player, an innovative player, Just because the game is shifting towards a more robotic, roles-fixed position doesn't mean that you can't be able to think, right? We used to be able to remember phone numbers. You don't know any phone numbers now. Go, tell me a phone number. Without looking at your phone, you can't. You know why? Because TikTok destroyed it. TikTok took your brain, scrambled it in some eggs. Gone, my friends, gone. We knew he wasn't gonna score. He's awful. One thing we've seen is that wingers' skill, style, and ability will never go out of fashion. If you're a winger, you've got to be able to be tricky, you've got to be creative, and you've got to be quick. That hasn't changed, all right? So if you're the type of guy in there wondering how and what should I work on, these things are still gonna be there 20 years from now, 30 years from now, probably even more. See you later. Now, the striker position is obviously a position in which innovation has been always pushing forward. Strikers are constantly looking for ways to score goals. We've had poachers in the past. We've had guys with speed. We've had strong guys. We've had tall guys. The game in the striker position doesn't change much. And what does that tell you? It tells you that the principles of the game have not changed. Strikers are doing their best to figure out ways to be at the right place at the right time, to be stronger, to get faster and quicker, to be better in the air. All of these things are not going to change, right? So when we talk about the greatest skill that you have, that the greatest skill you have to cultivate, it's this. It's the innovation. It's the ability for you to be rapidly and constantly evolving. Do not let the fact that the game has continued to become a more robotic, where we can just put you guy in, he's fast and strong and he can do this, right? All teams and all coaches are going to adapt, but you as a player, it's on you. The responsibility will always fall on you for you to figure out how you can be a creative, innovative type and style of player in order to get the best out of your game. My friends, this has been the greatest skill move, rise and fall. Subscribe. See you soon, and GOLUREMI Nation, some other stuff, and yeah, we'll see you later. All right, my friends, that's the vid. You know exactly what we need you to do. Leave us a like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this video right here all the way to the end, then GOLUREMI Nation, which is our members only fight club for footballers, go to the link right down below. My friends, exclusive interviews, exclusive trainings, extra videos, week in, week out, where we absolutely ball. And we will see you guys later. I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, guys, I'm stuck. So I'm gonna, oh, Jesus, okay.